If you've just got your driver's license or are looking to add a cheap and cheerful SUV to your garage, then the Ford EcoSport should be at the top of your shopping list.
Well, that's only your opinion, Zaran. I'm sure your fashionable SUV will never trump the king of this segment, the 2019 Renault Duster. Remember, the Duster was the one that started this whole budget SUV trend.
You're right. Renault did start the budget SUV trend.
Yes, they did.
But what you're forgetting is that Ford has plenty more experience building rough and tough SUVs.
Rough and tough, you say? Well, that's exactly what the EcoSport isn't. Anyways, let's not waste any more time and yalla, let's start this review.
Buyers in this segment of the market don't care too much about design. Boot space, fuel economy and resale value are of far greater concern.
Well, that might be true, but since we have both cars parked in this way, let me tell everyone that the Duster is wider, longer and higher than your Ford EcoSport.
Considering you've done your homework, that I can't argue with. But I will say that the EcoSport looks more premium and is far more stylish, even though its proportions are a bit off.
Zaran, come on. At least with the 2019 Duster, I can tell that this is the new car. The changes are really noticeable. With the EcoSport, until now, I can't tell. Did you bring this year's model or last year's model to this review?
I'll let that puzzle you till the end.
Bigger on the outside and bigger in the inside. Most probably the Renault Duster is the more practical of the two.
That strongly depends on your definition of practicality, because the EcoSport offers far more cubby holes to hold your phone, wallet, keys and drinks in both the first and second row. While on the topic of storage space, how big is that center storage box of yours, Anas?
Well, I don't have one. But wait, don't start laughing. Because Renault has done something every car without a center storage box has to do. They gave us the Land Rover armrest, keeping you comfortable on those long journeys.
Inside the EcoSport, gone is the futuristic design of the dashboard and center console for something far subtler. An 8-inch floating display screen sits atop the dashboard and gives the cabin a trendy, upmarket feel.
Well, I gotta give it to you. The screen in the EcoSport does look nicer, instead of the aftermarket looking one I have here in the Duster. But wait, the design here looks much more elegant and it gives you a feeling of more space inside the cabin. And look at these AC climate control knobs with digital displays in them. They look much more modern than the EcoSports.
The back seats are where the magic happens. Despite the EcoSport being smaller and shorter than the Duster, rear legroom and headroom are far superior than what the Duster has to offer.
Alright, I'll give it to you. You do have more leg space in the back in the EcoSport, but I still do have some decent head space as well. And this tight leg space is for one simple reason, because my boot space is at 414 liters, which is 52 liters more than your EcoSport. You see, it's not magic, it's physics. If I wanted more room for passengers in the back, I would have gone for a sedan.
So we've established that your passengers won't be as comfortable as mine. But let's see if your Duster can keep up with the long list of features that my EcoSport has to offer. Starting with keyless entry and push-button start. Secondly, a traditional key that I can hang on my keychain. Then we've got a digital instrument cluster display, automatic headlights, automatic wipers, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay and a cooled glove box.
Okay, true. I dislike the key Renault uses, especially that in the Duster I don't have keyless entry. But that's a small sacrifice, because what I do have is cruise control and a speed limiter, blind spot monitoring, built-in navigation in my infotainment screen, and not one, but 4 different cameras around the car to help you park, none of which your full option EcoSport has. So, Zaran, tell me, how does this full option but less equipped EcoSport drive?
Well, under the hood, the very small hood of the EcoSport, is a 1.5 litre naturally aspirated engine that produces 123 horsepower.
That's it?
Now I know your Duster has a bigger engine and it produces more power.
Yep.
But let me tell you what your Duster does not have.
What?
A 6-speed automatic transmission.
Oh my God. Fair enough, fair enough. I'll give you that. But at least in the Duster, when you're driving the car, you actually feel you're inside an SUV, not just some tall hatchback.
Well, make fun of the tall hatchback all you want. The fact of the matter is that it's more comfortable in the city and also easier to drive because of the soft suspension, the smaller dimensions and the smaller turning radius.
Well, that soft suspension you're talking about also make you feel you're in a boat on a river every time you make a turn. Let me demonstrate. If I actually shake like this, the car has body roll and it moves. Why should it have so much body roll for such a small car?
Well, okay, Colin McRae, should we hop into your budget rally car then?
Let's go. So to start, as you said, I have a 2-liter engine producing 135 horsepower.
That's good, but that's also only half the story.
What's the other half?
Because you're hiding the fact that you have a 4-speed automatic transmission.
This transmission.
Why are manufacturers still making a 4-speed automatic?
I actually don't have an answer to that question because I'm asking the question myself. Why? Why a 4-speed? And I'm actually thinking this 4-speed gearbox is actually affecting the fuel efficiency on the Duster as well, because we're averaging 8.7 liters of fuel for every 100 kilometers, meaning the EcoSport is much more fuel efficient.
Sorry to go a little off topic, but what's that beeping sound in your car?
Oh, finally, you asked me. I'm so glad you asked that question. That's my navigation system, which is built into my infotainment, saving me money.
Saving you money?
Yes, because every time I approach a speed camera, it starts warning me with that beep, and it also shows me how far the speed camera is. As you can see, 400 meters away, 300 meters away, 200, 100, bye-bye speed camera, 600 still in my wallet.
Cha-ching! But why are we pulling over to the side of the road?
Because there's one last surprise I have to show you.
What, we're gonna fly?
No, something like that. But I'm gonna show you something you only dream of doing in your EcoSport. Okay, 4-wheel drive on, diff lock on, off-road monitor on, and here we go. Ready?
Let's go.
So Zaran, how much does your EcoSport with less features than my Duster cost?
Altair Motors is running an exceptional offer for customers in the UAE, allowing them to drive out this full option model for just 71,000 dirhams.
Ah, an offer you say. How much is the actual price?
That's not that important.
Really?
It's 93,500 dirhams.
What? 93,000? So you're telling me that my Duster, which is a proper 4-wheel drive SUV with a bigger engine, bigger boot and more features, is 25,000 dirhams less than the EcoSport?
You're saying your Duster only costs 68,000 dirhams?
Yes, and no offer needed.
Well, in that case,